time ago, I can still...
There is a magic key we all keep hidden that takes us back, in a split second, to that time when life felt slower and more real. It doesn't matter how many years have passed. Just hearing the first 3 chords of certain songs is enough to feel the afternoon sun coming through the window, the smell of mom's coffee, or that first knot in your stomach before a party. Today, we aren't going to talk about music. We are going to talk about the memories we thought were forgotten, but which are still alive in these anthems we grew up with in the 70s. We are going to walk through 12 moments that defined who we are today. Get comfortable in your favorite armchair, because this journey is for the soul. Number 12. Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin. From the first strum of that folk guitar, you feel a lump in your throat. This song is, possibly, the most human and painful story ever told on the radio. Harry Chapin didn't just sing, he narrated a life movie for us in 3 minutes. Listening to it when you were a child or teenager made you think about your father, but listening to it today, with children or grandchildren, hits you in a completely different way.
You know we'll have a good time then.
The lyrics are a gentle but devastating warning about how time slips through our fingers while we are busy working or paying bills. Chapin was inspired by a poem his wife, Sandy, wrote upon seeing the relationship between her first husband and his father. It is that irony of life, the boy who wants to be like dad, and the dad who has no time until the roles are reversed and it is already too late. The ending, when the narrator hangs up the phone and realizes his son has become exactly like him, leaves you staring into space, reflecting on your own priorities. It is a song that forces you to call your loved ones. But after this deep reflection, let's go out into the sun and onto the highway. Number 11. In the Summertime, Mungo Jerry. If happiness had a sound, it would be exactly this. As soon as you hear that rhythm that seems made with a washboard and the sound of a car engine starting, your mind travels straight to the summer vacations of 1970. Mungo Jerry, with his giant sideburns and carefree style, created the definitive anthem of carelessness and youthful freedom. What's incredible about this song is that it has no real drums. The rhythm is marked by the singer's foot tapping the studio floor. That simplicity gave it an authenticity that no super production could match. It was the song that played in cars with the windows down, when air conditioning was a luxury and the wind in your face was the best feeling in the world. The ending, with those sounds of celebration and the cheerful piano, leaves you with a goofy smile on your face. It reminds us that there was a time when we didn't need much money to have a good time. We just needed good weather, friends, and this song on the radio. But now, let's get a little more melancholic with the queen of the raspy voice. Number 10. Landslide, Fleetwood Mac. That acoustic guitar, played with exquisite delicacy by Lindsey Buckingham, is the prelude to one of the most beautiful confessions of the decade. Stevie Nicks wrote this in a moment of total doubt, looking at the snowy mountains of Aspen and wondering whether to continue with music or abandon everything. That vulnerability is felt in every breath. It is a song about the fear of changing, about seeing how children grow and how we also get older. I've been afraid of changing because I've built my life around you. Who hasn't felt like that at some point? Listening to it in the 70s was feeling a sweet sadness. Listening to it today is understanding that changes, like landslides, are inevitable and necessary. The soft closing of the song is like a farewell hug. Stevie taught us that you can be strong and fragile at the same time. It is a melody that accompanies you in moments of solitude. And, speaking of solitude and long songs we knew by heart, here comes the anthem of a generation. Number 9. American Pie, Don McLean.
Long, long time ago, I can still remember.
This song wasn't listened to, it was studied. I remember being with friends trying to decipher what each verse of its 8 minutes meant. Don McLean created an epic chronicle about the loss of innocence in America, using the death of Buddy Holly as a starting point to talk about how the world was changing around us. It was a ritual to wait for them to play it on the radio completely, without cuts. Singing the chorus at the top of your lungs, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie," was a form of collective communion. The song has a structure that builds in intensity, going from a folk ballad to an accelerated rock and roll that made you bang on the table following the rhythm.
Miss American Pie, drove my Chevy to the levee, but...
When the piano is left alone at the end and Don's voice returns to calm, you feel you have traversed a whole decade of history. It is a masterpiece that captured the feeling that the day the music died was the day we stopped being children. But let's swap folk for the most elegant blue-eyed soul. Number 8. How Long? Ace. That opening bass line is so sophisticated it makes you feel elegant just listening to it. Paul Carrack, the vocalist, has one of those voices that sound like velvet and truth. Although many thought the lyrics were about a partner's infidelity, it actually dealt with the band's bassist playing secretly with another group. It's ironic that a song about professional betrayal sounds so romantic and seductive. It was a massive hit that played in every disco and party when the lights went down. It has that characteristic mid-70s soft rock sound that wrapped around you and invited you to sway gently. The ending, with the vocal harmonies repeating the question, "How long?" stays etched in your head. It is a perfect song for driving at night through the city, watching the lights go by. But if we're talking about powerful ballads and horn arrangements, Chicago holds the throne. Number 7. If You Leave Me Now, Chicago. Those trumpet and trombone choruses at the beginning are the band's signature. But here they are softened, creating a dreamlike atmosphere. Peter Cetera sang with a sweetness that disarmed any defense. It was the obligatory song for dancing, a slow one at parties. That moment when you worked up the courage to hold your partner close. The production is impeccable, with strings that come in and out like ocean waves. The lyrics are a desperate plea to save a relationship, and the way Cetera stretches the vowels made you feel his pain. It was Chicago's first song to reach number 1 worldwide, proving that rockers had hearts too. When the song fades out, it leaves you with that bittersweet feeling of love's hanging by a thread. It is the soundtrack of many reconciliations, and also many farewells. But now, let's breathe fresh air and connect with nature. Number 6. Annie's Song, John Denver. This song smells of forest, pine trees, and fresh air. John Denver wrote it in 10 minutes while on a ski lift going up a mountain in Colorado. The beauty of the landscape and the love he felt for his wife Annie fused into this melody that is pure transparency and honesty. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest. The lyrics are sensory poetry. Denver didn't have a powerful voice, but he had a clarity and pitch that transmitted immediate peace. In a decade full of heavy rock and disco music, this acoustic song was a refuge of calm for millions of people. The instrumental ending with the strings and flutes is like watching a sunrise. It cleanses your spirit. It is a song that reminds us that the greatest love is the one that feels natural and simple. And continuing with acoustic guitars and healing voices, here comes the troubadour par excellence. Number 5. Fire and Rain, James Taylor. That acoustic guitar sound, with that particular picking style of James Taylor, is unmistakable. It is a song that speaks of depression, the loss of friends, and the struggle against one's own demons, but it does so with a sweetness that makes it digestible. James sang his sorrows to us and, in doing so, alleviated ours.
Seen lonely times when I could not find a friend.
The phrase "I've seen fire and I've seen rain" perfectly summarizes the ups and downs of life. Taylor wrote this while in rehab, and that fragility shows in his soft, nasal voice. It isn't a sad song, it is a song of survival, of accepting that bad things happen but we are still here. The closing, where he simply repeats the title and lets the guitar speak, is of sublime elegance. It makes you feel accompanied in your difficult moments. But now, let's dress up to remember a movie and an unmatched voice. Number 4. The Way We Were, Barbra Streisand. From Barbara's opening humming, you know you are going to get emotional. This song is memory-made music. It belongs to the movie The Way We Were with Robert Redford, and perfectly captures that feeling of looking back and wondering if everything was really as beautiful as we remember it, or if our mind has rewritten history. Barbra Streisand's voice on this recording is perfect, powerful, and crystalline. The phrase, "misty watercolored memories," is one of the most beautiful metaphors of the decade. It was the song that played on the kitchen radio while our mothers cooked, and that stayed floating in the air like expensive perfume. The final climax, when she asks if we had the chance to do it all again, is devastatingly beautiful. It is the anthem of adult nostalgia, but for the number 3 spot, we need a bridge over troubled water and an unbreakable friendship. Number 3. Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel. The gospel piano at the start already announces that this is almost a religious experience. Paul Simon wrote the song, but it was Art Garfunkel's angelic voice that lifted it to heaven. It is a promise of absolute loyalty. When you're weary, feeling small, I will take your part. In a changing world, we all needed to hear that. The song builds little by little. It starts with just piano and voice, and ends with a massive orchestra and a vocal power that makes you tremble. It represents the creative peak of the duo, just before splitting up. It is a song that makes you feel protected, cared for, and understood. The majestic ending, with that sustained high note, is a triumph of the human spirit. It is one of those songs that never age because the message of mutual help is eternal. But now, let's follow the yellow brick road with England's most famous piano. Number 2. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John. That piano intro and Elton John's falsetto voice transport us to a modern fairy tale. The song speaks of renouncing fame, money, and the artificial city life to return to the roots, to the simple country life. It is an escape fantasy we all had at some point while trapped in the routine.
In the dogs of society, how you can't
The melody is a roller coaster, rising and falling with astonishing ease. Elton was in his golden era, dressing up and wearing outrageous glasses. But behind the spectacle was a genius musician, composing instant classics. This song captures the essence of 70s glamour and melancholy. The ending, with those backing vocals and orchestration, leaves you with the feeling of having seen a great play. It is Elton John at his finest, and we arrive at number 1, the most heartbreaking song of love and loss ever recorded. Number 1, Without You, Harry Nilsson.
No, I can't forget.
This isn't a song, it is a scream from the soul. It starts soft, almost shy, but when it reaches the chorus, it explodes with a power that seems superhuman. Harry Nilsson took a song by the band Badfinger and transformed it into the definitive standard of the romantic ballad. I can't live if living is without you.
If living is without you.
Legend has it that Nilsson tore his vocal cords recording this piece, giving blood in every note. The purity of his voice in the high notes is something rarely heard again. It is the song you put on when your heart was broken and you needed to cry until you were dry. The dramatic ending, with the orchestra and Nilsson's voice taking us to the limit, is unsurpassed. It is the song we grew up with, the one that taught us what romantic pain and the beauty of music were. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the wonderful 70s.